Hey, when you face a situation and you call it what it is, new doors begin to open. So just say it. Everything that you create, what you put into your mind, what you put into your soul, what you bring out here into the real world, it is creativity, and it is an addiction. It has a control over you and in you. So what are you going to do about it? Well, you got to learn to love it, and you got to learn to listen to it. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. I'm going to be talking with actor Chris Cooper here in probably about an hour and a half. Chris Cooper is an Academy Award-winning actor. He's part of this brand new movie. It's called Within. And it really affected me in a huge way. It's several different short stories from people of fame. And what it's based on is how we were affected and infected by the lockdown, the pandemic, those 2 years where we were in our homes, and how we had to deal with relationships, how we dealt with fear, how we dealt with everything that a lot of us have pushed away already. I'm a daily writer, so I know what my emotions were because it's documented. Now, have I gone back to read it? No. And this movie Within with actor Chris Cooper, I think what it's going to do is it's going to inspire me to go in there and explore, to see what was really, truly moving through the creative process and mind. I remember talking with a lot of people of fame, musicians and actors and authors and people who were in fear during the pandemic. And I got yelled at a lot as an interviewer. I did. Because I went there with a lot of questions. And the reason why was because I'm always thinking about you. Because I know that inside you is a writer, a performer, a singer, an actor, but you just don't let the world know it. And that you listen to this podcast probably in hiding. You're probably maybe at home, maybe with earbuds on, you're working out, you're doing something. And you're the one that I got yelled at for. God, that was mean. Because I just didn't want you to stop. And I mean that with my soul. Hey, this is Arroe. This is The Daily Mess. A chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. We bear it all, baby. We bear it all. And it's all about just living life. And in prayer this morning, I actually asked God, I said, please don't make us the final generation. I mean, look at the state of the world with Russia and Ukraine, and look at NATO building up its wall. There was a guy last night, he was on the front line with me, and he was moving kind of slow, and he made it a point to tell me he was moving kind of slow, even though I already knew it, but he wanted to make it a point. I'm moving slow. He says, I've got a reason. And I go, really? I love that idea because I'd like to slow down time as well. And he goes, it's going to end very soon. I just don't want to rush through it. Oh, God. Oh, shit. I mean, it's like, holy moly. Oh, my God. This is The Daily Mess. I can't sit here and just stare at a blank page all day. The Google Calendar is calling out my name, and it's using bad language. I mean, it's starting to just use every F word in the book because it wants me to start moving. I mean, talk about being in the right place at the right time. Not always so true in the modern world, where being an hour late is the new accepted. It is. I'm going to be an hour late. Okay. My dad would always say, don't be late for your funeral, boy. What do you mean, Dad? Just don't be late for your funeral. In July of 2009, I was in a hospital having heart surgery because time reminded me of how important it really is. I don't know how others react to mismanaged time. I only know it feels that like an infection inside of me. It's so personal, and I'm accused of being too uncaring when other people are late. People have issues, and they'll try to explain it to you. Yet no one looks at those who work overtime, whose work overload has increased again and again and again. This is not a bitch. It's not a complaint, not a judgment or reason to change. My issues with the clock is a sickness dealt with daily. But I do wonder, if I'll write about my transition before the actual departure. If that were possible, I have to ask you, if I can do it, so can you. What would you write about if you knew that you were about ready to transition from where we are today into eternity? Wow. The final words on the page. What would you write? Oh my God, I just turned this page and the next one is blank. Of course it's blank. I haven't been there yet. But, that affected me in a really huge way. Hold on, I got to kind of get myself back together here again. I went from, your transition. If you knew that you were in transition, what would your final words be on the page? And then I turn the page and Jesus, it's blank. Because that's the way it's going to be. That's reality. And the universe and God put me right there in that place, and you happen to capture it right now. That's what happens. When you transition and you're on your way into eternity, the next page is going to be blank. What would you put on the final page? Would it be gratefulness? Would it be a thank you? Would it be an I love you? Would it be a bitch, a complaint? Would it be depression? Would it be something that talks about what you were taking before the transition to help calm the nerves? What would you put on the final page? And what if this is the final page? Just breathe. It's heavy stuff. But you have to understand that in this world of so much change, challenge, uncertainty, you've lost people in your life. I've lost my mother to COVID. My brother-in-law. I don't think they even thought about putting words on a final page. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.